Today, I wanted to talk about something that it's been on my mind for the past couple days, and it's basically boils down to this platitude. You've probably heard it from teachers on principals on shows, movies. This idea: if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. And I have 5 reasons here printed off of why I disagree with this idea, at least when you put it into practice. I mean, in theory, yeah, sure. If you can wake up every day and be happy and motivated to go to work and love every second of it, then by all means, dude, go for it. But for the vast majority of people, it's probably not what you should shoot for. And I have some reasons for that. So to get into it, if you if you have to do something, even something that you like doing, you'll eventually get sick of it. I mean, if I had to be recording this video right now, I would probably be angry because I've had to record it 3 times now. So, if somebody if I had a deadline to make, that could be a problem. And I probably wouldn't like it so much if I absolutely had to do it. And that goes for anything, really. Like even hobbies. If you suddenly have to do something every day, then you'll start to get sick of it. It'll start to get old. I mean, I feel like that goes for even like Twitch streamers. They literally play video games and bullshit for 8 hours, and they get paid, some of them, a lot of money. And I'm sure they have days that they wake up and they're like, I would just rather do anything other than play video games and stream right now. Because, it's about variety. That's one of the reasons why most jobs, pretty much all jobs, kind of suck. It's because you're kind of just doing the same thing over and over again. And even if it's something you like doing, I'm sure that I'm sure you get sick of it eventually. Another thing is that jobs that most people like doing are often rare or they don't pay very well. And so, I mean, like, for example, we can use Twitch streaming again. It's a very in demand field thing to do. And there's a lot of competition, obviously. There's, what, thousands of people streaming at any given time. And you're constantly kind of bidding for people's attention. It's very tough. And so, even though it's a job that a lot of people would like to do, it's one that only very few people really get the opportunity to. And the vast majority of them, aren't making crazy money. So maybe that goes against what I just said, you know, 10 seconds ago, but uh, that's kind of the other thing is most of the time, if you go into the job market with this kind of mentality, you're going to end up with something that isn't too great, at least when it comes to pay, usually. Um, but I think even more importantly, this kind of thinking, it encourages kids to pick stupid majors in college because they're going to go to college. That's what you do. You go through high school, you graduate, then you go get your 4-year college degree, whatever. But if you send kids into college with this kind of thinking of, oh, I need to like my job, I need to love my job, I need it to be something that I'm like passionate about, then they're going to oftentimes, similar to kind of the second thing that I said here, they're going to pick things that are useless. They're like useless degrees. I mean, and a degree can be useless or not useless depending on who has it. I mean, it's kind of how it goes. But if we're being honest, we could take the low hanging fruit. We could take the gender studies degree, or whatever that would be used for. I don't know. Maybe there's smarter people out there that know. I don't know. But there's like English degrees, art degrees, and those can be useful, and you can get good jobs with them. But they're also, if it's just the average person that has them, they maybe not. It's not like one of those things where the degree kind of proves you have the education to do the job automatically, you know, and that's kind of what you get in like engineering fields or STEM fields or something. So it can be tough. And so a lot of times these degrees end up being useless, and the school's expensive. And a lot of kids probably shouldn't be going to college anyway, if we're being completely honest with you. I mean, college used to mean something. You know, it used to be like a certain upper echelon of people intellectually that went to college. And I didn't go to college, so you know, don't think that I'm on my high horse or anything. But it used to mean something, you know. And now everybody has a 4 year degree. Everybody has a bachelor's. So, you know, things are different. But oftentimes, another option might have been better for them. Um, or if they chose to go and get something that it's tough to find a job in that field, then they're stuck with, you know, whatever ungodly amount they have to pay back in student loans, or and that's just the average person. I mean, every situation is different, but that's kind of another problem that I would have with kind of this idea. And really, we've gotten a little bit more philosophical as the rant has went on, and so these last two things are particularly philosophical. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, I think that a job or your career, it should enable your life. It shouldn't like be your life. It should be the means to your end, not rather than the end. And and that's different for everybody. At the end of the day, I mean, I feel like most people are kind of agree in agreement with that. Like, yeah, obviously you want a job to provide for your life, but your life, you know, what matters, your family, your health, your children, your wife, your husband, whatever. That's really what matters more than your career for most people. And I think if I'm gonna come out with the hot takes, I think that most people would probably be better off prioritizing, you know, other things other than their career. And it seems like there's been a big push for, you know, a career to be like the most important thing to you. And I don't think that that's really a good way of going about it. In my opinion, you know, you should get a job, you should get a career that can provide for your family and can give you the life that you want. And as long as you can tolerate it, I really wouldn't worry too much more about it. Um, I mean, obviously, always be trying to move forward, but you know, there's some people that make their job their whole life, and I don't think that I don't think that that's healthy, and I don't think that that's um, mentally a good spot to be in long term. But that's me. And then to get the most philosophical here at the end, I think that hard work that you might not want to do, that you might not be looking forward to, and this doesn't count like retail or just like general soul sucking jobs. Like I completely understand. Yeah, you it's there's no fun there. There is absolutely no fun there. And that's kind of and that's I'm trying to avoid people going into that. Don't bite here. Let me clear this up. I'm not saying, oh, just get a job, you know, that pays good, even though you hate it. I'm just saying, don't plan your whole career path around making your by monetizing your hobbies. You can find something that you're moderately interested in, that you don't hate to do, that is maybe easy. What the hell? Okay, my printer's making noises at me. that you can that you somewhat like to do, that you don't hate, that you can tolerate. and and that's good. That's good. I'm not encouraging people to just like get a job that they don't like or that they hate because of any of these other reasons that I'm saying. But but hard work, like let's say manual labor or something with your hands outside. I don't know. You get what I mean. You get the vibe. And I feel like when you do work like that, it's something that you can take pride in, especially like if you're building something, if your job's to build things, if you're construction or even maintenance, fixing stuff. I feel like that's something that you can take pride in at the end of the day. Like, and that's one of the things that sucks about retail. And one of the things that whenever I briefly worked retail, I really wasn't a fan of, is it is kind of like it never ended. Like at my current job, and I work like industrial maintenance. Uh, at my current job, when you get done with something, then it's fixed. Then you're done. Then it's done, or it's installed if you're doing something new, or calibrated or whatever. You know what I mean. The job's done once it's done. The thing with retail is it just never ends. Like if you're a cashier, there's always going to be one more guy coming. There's always going to be, more shelves to stock. It never ends. The job's never done. And I think that that's one of the maybe the subconsciously one of the worst things about those kind of jobs is you never actually feel like you're doing anything. You're kind of just going through the motions, but nothing's really ever being accomplished because by the time you finish your row of shelves, three of them are already messed up again. So that's kind of my little tangent. I don't know. I'm kind of going on tangents, but I think they're good tangents. So to get to the final point here, um, I think that you could take pride in hard work, and especially if you're building something. Um, and especially, as a man, if you're a man, which I would assume you probably are if you clicked on a video like this, because it's kind of out there. Uh, if you're providing for your family by doing those kind of things, by doing kind of a manual labor kind of job, which you might not want to do all the time. It might kind of suck, and I'm with you there. Like, I've had shitty days. I'm not. Most days of my job are pretty easy, but sometimes you have your shitty days. And when you can come home and you can look at the life that you were able to build with the fruits of your labor, let's say, I think that it's a nice feeling, and it kind of makes it worth it at the end of the day. So I'm not really sure if that really counteracts the point of the video or anything. I don't know. I just thought it was maybe worth mentioning. Because that's not something, like, nobody fucking grows up saying, oh, I want to be a construction worker or a garbage man or maybe a tradesman, but, it's not common. Uh, so I think that there's something to it. There is something there. Especially, I think men will get it. I think guys will get it. What I mean. Like, once you're done with something, it's completed. And that's assuming everything else is going okay in your life, which might be a big assumption, but I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now. I think I've reached the end of my thoughts here. So anyway, if you disagree, let me know. I feel like if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. I feel like that's one of those things people just say, and maybe it was useful at some point, um, as a phrase or something. Maybe it still is in certain ways, but I feel like in current day where everybody's already just preoccupied with wanting to do exactly what they want to do. I don't know. I and I don't want to sound like I'm dismissive of the plights of young people. Because I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, I understand what's going on. I just feel like it's not entirely useful. I think it's pointing people in the wrong direction, especially if they live by it. Even subconsciously, they're like influenced by it. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting way too much thought into this. Probably. But hey, if you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. I'm very curious to see if I have any comments, what the comments will be on this. But I hope you enjoyed this for whatever it was. And hopefully I'll think of something to talk about next time.